Good evening. I am Dakota Hunter, and I will be briefly presenting Origin to you on the Song of Songs, Chapter 1, verses 1 through 7. Some of the objectives will be looking at Origin's methodology as it becomes apparent throughout the text, looking at the text and some of the high key points that he illustrates in his interpretation, and then finally wrapping it up with this call with the integration of the threefold senses that the ancient world used to interpret text in an allegorical fashion. Methodology. Origen was an allegorical giant. He found spiritual realities embedded within the scriptures. This use of intimate imagery within the Song of Songs, though viewed as a erotic love poem between husband and wife, or bride and bridegroom, was seen as a mystical contemplation of divine love. We see it within the use of metaphors of the union with Christ, transformation through love, and then the bride being none other than the church or the soul. So, the Song of Songs, assuming Solomon's authorship, is viewed as the crown of wisdom. It is alongside of the moral trainings found in Proverbs and some of the more natural philosophies of Ecclesiastes. It is the highest of songs. Moving throughout the text, we see things like kisses, wine, and oil, and some of these imagery, though taken at face value, have a deep spiritual meaning. The kisses is this desire to receive instruction from the word, this idea of being better than wine, referencing the bridegroom. From the bride's perspective, is Christ's love for the church and his love surpassing all earthly desires. We also see this idea of oil being poured out, that the name of Jesus diffuses healing grace throughout the world. Moving throughout the text more, we see this idea of being the bride describing herself as dark yet lovely. Taken at face value, this could be used to describe skin tone. However, the metaphor that Origen draws from the text is being black is the past sin or sins of the Gentile church, trials and persecutions, those people who were outside of the church, marred and downtrodden, but they are now beautiful, renewed by grace and the desire to know Christ and to receive direct instruction. This idea of being keepers of the vineyards, this is referencing the ministries, nations, or communities entrusted to the church, yet each must not neglect their own vineyard, their own soul, to maintain consistent communion with Christ. And then finally, this metaphor of a pasture is this idea of true nourishment, a place of true nourishment where the bride, the church, can go to rest, to meditate on the word, to contemplate. And there's a fear among the church where they are veiled among companions, that they are straying among false teachers. So there is a desire to be in a place of true nourishment where they can truly know the word. Finally, these threefold senses, there's a literal interpretation of this. A historical literal is a human love song celebrating desire, beauty, and union between a bride and bridegroom. We see the moral or tropological interpretation as a call to holiness, vigilance, and the love of God above all earthly delights. And then finally, the spiritual and allegorical sense is that the mystery of Christ's love for the church and the soul is culminated in the mystical union of marriage. Thank you for your time.